All right, so last night we had two Monday night games. Both games were actually pretty good, but stick to this one in more particular because more drama in this game, and the game came down to the very last play. I mean, just real quick, like the Bills and Falcons game, it was surprising to see at one point that the Falcons went up 21-7 on the Bills, because honestly, in my mind, in my my opinion, I think the Bills at the time, or maybe even after the loss, is still the best team in the NFL. Obviously, you have the Eagles, but the Eagles have been slipping, losing two straight, especially to teams that they should, dominate, and obviously, the Chiefs are the, the bar in the NFL, but, we see that their record isn't showing how good they really are. Of course, injuries and suspensions and stuff like that happens. And for it to happen early in the season is, but, they're going to fight through it. Who else? The Bucks. I like the Bucks. Baker Mayfield is, well, I'm not going to say obvious because y'all don't know that, but he's one of my favorite quarterbacks right now in the league. Might be my favorite quarterback in the league. Who else? The Patriots, they're starting to look good. I'm not saying they're back in their old form with Belichick there, but they look pretty good right now. Who else? I mean, Detroit. I mean, they all right. I mean, I think teams are starting to figure them out now, but they're still fighting hard. They're still playing good. They're still winning games. Don't get me wrong, but I think teams are starting to really figure out that all you gotta do is shut down Montgomery and Gibbs, and you got J-Mo on the deep route. You got St. Brown on the crossing routes. But mostly their whole offense is predicated around Gibbs and Montgomery. So if you can get those two shut down and or slow them down and have some good cover guys to cover J-Mo and St. Brown, you'll be fine. I mean, tough task, tall task, but But anyways, let's get into this video. So first off, I don't even know why they're playing this game back in DC, because last year they played this game in DC. If y'all remember the Hail Mary viral video, but Caleb Williams back in his hometown. It was raining. I am from around this area. But it wasn't like a downpour. It wasn't like something tremendous. It was more like mist, drizzle type rain. Sure, I was playing flag football while this game was going on, but still watching bits and pieces of the game when I could. I think Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams have the ability to be, okay, I'm not going to say they're going to win as many Super Bowls as these quarterbacks, but they have the ability to be this era's Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, to be real. You just didn't see Brisker come from underneath from his what in video games we would say is purple, his curl flax area. I don't really like those tight end slip screens. I really don't like those. Because as you can see, they got a fake block, and then they got a, you know, they're getting driven back or whatever, and then they got released, and then like they're already like 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage, so it just ruins things. But fumble. That's a perfect example. Let me back it up. Back it up more. So here, this D lineman has Krosky's arm, right? So then this D lineman, all he's going to do is just punch that ball out. That's what they tell you when it comes to game tackling. One of y'all hold the arms, right? And then another one comes and punch the ball out. And that's what they did here, and they caused the fumble. Now, how did Wiley not get on the ball? I mean, he was literally on the ball. The ball was between his legs. Like, you gotta have better. You gotta be better. You gotta be better than that. Because you're down 6-0, and they're driving the ball. They have the potential to score already. Like, look, they're at the 1 yard line. You get that fumble recovery, y'all might be driving down for a touchdown. Now y'all are down 13-0. The fact that play worked scares me. That scares me that play actually worked. It didn't, I mean, obviously it wasn't a home run play, but, you know, the fact that they gained yardage. Any play that gains yardage, right, gains yardage. I gotta start making more money so I don't have to watch these YouTube ads, so then they don't, like, interrupt. Ooh. You know, right in the face mask. As long as you get a knee in, it counts as 2 feet. If you get a knee in, it counts as 2 feet. Your butt counts as 2 feet. I think your elbow counts as 2 feet as well. But your head does not count as 2 feet, which is crazy, right? So elbow, knee, or butt, or 2 feet. Hey, Swift had a really good game. If we're being honest, Swift, I mean, I didn't think, you know, usually people go to the Bears. I mean, it could be worse. You could go to the Browns. People send people to the Browns to die, but Bears was a little bit close to that type of level, you know. But the Bears are, you know, they're getting their pieces of players that they need, and they're starting to look good. They might be a playoff team. They might be a playoff team, or right on the cusp of it. He's hands down the second best rookie running back. Period. I got Scatterbo, and then I have Bill, and then I got Ashton Genty. But the whole stance thing is what ruined Genty's I'm not going to say ruined his career, but ruined the start of his season. Because he's a stand-up straight guy. He's not a bent over pause person, Throw the ball away. What are you doing? This man always returns the ball like close to the 40, 45-yard line every time, bro. Both of these quarterbacks can really improvise. They can move down the field, like as far as using their feet. Like they're not super dangerous using their feet, like a Lamar Jackson, maybe even a Josh. Well, no, they're more in the Josh Allen realm, but they're not trucking people like Josh Allen. I just realized how many field goals were kicked in this game. Step up. No step up. Okay. I always saw Luther as more of a slot receiver. This man definitely look like a number 2 receiver on his team now. Well, they still might have him behind Moore, but Dunze is definitely either Moore or Dunze is wide receiver 1. The other one is wide receiver 2. But Burden is a close 3. They fell for the screen and go. They fell for the screen and go. 2 people dropped down. One person has to be responsible. First off, I think they were in zone anyway, but one person has to be responsible for a receiver that goes down into the flats. The other one has to drop back. And they both just went for the same person. Now they do play with a leather ball, and leather, is this the one that they, yeah, just kicked the ball low. Now, I know what y'all probably saying, why didn't he get more of a better, oh, he kicked the fat of the ball, that's what happened. He didn't get up under the fat of the ball, but as far as blocking on that edge, what you're supposed to do is step towards the center and give a punch outside. Now, if the person outside blocks it, then they block it. I mean, it's more of a longer distance for them to run in order to block it. You don't want your block to come through the middle. But yeah, that's football for you. But yeah, like I was saying, like they're playing with a leather ball, so uh, the ball is going to get pause. The ball is going to get wetter, heavier. Well, it may not get heavier, but it'll definitely have, get wetter. So it's hard to catch. That's why they keep towels and, like the ball boys, they keep the towels and all that to keep the ball dry. Whereas, high school, maybe college, I think college as well, uses composite footballs, which is better in the weather. Down 8 Bears, what y'all gonna do? You gotta make that shot. He reached. If they don't replay it, I'll replay it. But it's the same thing that I say in every video. Same thing that I say in every video. You cannot reach. And 2, he needs to get more upfield. He needs to box him in and make him go back inside. Right here, he reached. You can't reach. He lunges and reaches. You got to run through the person. Here, I wouldn't even go for 2. I'll kick the extra point. Because it's 10 minutes left. I will bank on my defense on getting a stop. Like I said, it's raining and they're playing with a leather ball. That's why you see a lot of them are doing body catches, if you haven't noticed. Now, Nike does make all-weather gloves, though. Good step up. He ain't quite have the ball correctly in his hands in order to give it, because he catches sideways, he tries to flip under, and then his top hand got in the way a bit, and he couldn't move his top hand out the way fast enough. So, complete game-changing play. Good possession catch. No need to try to fight for extra yards. Just catch the ball, get down, be safe. That's the play that really hurt too. And this is his first game with the Bears, and he went 4 for 5 with a game-winning field goal. So Jake Moody goes in his first game 4 for 5, game-winning field goal. That's great. Let's go look at the Bears' remaining. All right, so it looks like next week they play the Saints. Saints really is not looking good. Quarterback play is not looking good. They're even talking about trading Kamara. Not looking good out there. I don't know what to say. I mean, I haven't really watched a Saints game, but I know that they're really not looking good. So, and then maybe Lamar might be back, but that Ravens team, they not looking good either. Bengals, like they got a whole stretch right now. They're 3-2. They got a stretch where they can ultimately end up 6-2. They can end up 6-2. And then depending on what type of Giants they get, they can end up 7-2 before they play the Vikings. Because then the schedule gets tougher, where you're playing the Vikings. Then you have the Steelers, who look amazing right now. I'm not gonna say they're the best team, but they look like they're one of the best teams. Aaron Rodgers looks like he's kind of looking like his old self a little bit. Then you got the Eagles, who is always going to be a tough opponent. You got a rivalry game, and you know what I say about rivalry games. It don't matter the record. When it's a rivalry game, you know, it's all about heart and blood and pride and all that. So they got the Packers. Then they got the Browns, a game they should win. Then they got the Packers again. And then they got the 49ers, who is good. They look good still. I mean, they'll carry the momentum and look good in the future as well. And then you end it with the Lions. So they could ultimately end up 6-2, 7. I can see them with 7, maybe 8 or 9 wins. I definitely have them losing to the Lions and 49ers, Eagles. They can maybe beat the Steelers. They can maybe beat the Vikings. And they can maybe win one of the Packers games. But, yeah. So, until then, I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.